Hello everyone, myself Navneet Kumar Singh and I am teaching you heat and mass transfer for your GATE examination. So my dear students, let us see a good question on heat exchangers when you are using multi-dimension or your multi-tubes heat exchangers. Okay, multi-shell, multi-tube you are using and there can be a question on that. So let us see something different is there in this question. And let us focus on the board carefully. Okay, let us see. I am reading the question, my dear students. A shell and tube type heat exchanger. Now, a shell and tube type he has given. Okay, a shell and tube type heat exchanger he has given, my dear students. Let us see. So, a shell and tube type heat exchanger is to be designed for heating pressurized water. Okay, for heating pressurized water. So, what is the hot fluid? Your pressurized water. By means of hot gases, my dear students, by means of hot gases, that is like something which is happening in your boiler, my dear students. Okay, but there is a phase change, but there is nothing like that, which get cooled from 340 degrees Celsius to 180 degrees Celsius. The temperature of water at inlet is 80 degrees Celsius and it is living at 140 degrees Celsius. Very good, all the temperatures are given. Calculate the surface area required and effectiveness. Okay, use following properties. So overall heat transfer he has given, that must be he has given, my dear students, and specific heat of water you know already. Also he have given you something which is F is equal to 0.9 and that is called your correction factor. We have seen in the theoretical video, my dear students, for counter flow, my dear students. Okay, now let us see the temperature profiles, then we will see what is happening inside this. So if you know how to make the temperature profiles, that will be very easy and you can easily attempt all the questions, my dear students, for heat exchanger. That is your x or length of the heat exchanger. That is your counter flow. That is occurring from TH1 to TH2, my dear students, like something TH2 in this direction, my dear students. Now, that is your hot fluid. That is your hot fluid which is pressurized water. Hot fluid, my dear students. Now, what is the cold fluid? And the temperature of water at inlet is 80 degrees Celsius and it is living at 140 degrees Celsius. So this is cooled only by what? This is cooled only by water, my dear students. So the cold fluid which is entering at TC1 and living at TC2, my dear students, and living at TC2. Let us see, this is your TC2. Very good. Now, there will be some heat exchange from hot fluid to cold fluid. We already know heat lost by the hot fluid will be equal to heat gained by the cold fluid, my dear students. Let us see. Now, if I will talk about this, he is asking about the surface area and effectiveness. So, what he has given, let us see. So, hot fluid is your pressurized water. So, hot fluid is your pressurized water. Pressurized water, my dear students, and that mass flow rate of water is given or not. So hot gases which is cooled, so mass flow rate of water is not given. Mass flow rate of the cold fluid is given. Mass flow rate of water is 12 kg per second, which is cold fluid. So m dot h is not given, my dear students. You have to calculate this. Now let us see what is ch. Ch he has given, no, which get cooled from 340 to 180 degrees Celsius. So heating pressure temperature at water inlet is itna. Okay, mass flow rate of water is this, calculate surface area required. So my dear students, now he has not given the specific heat of water. So if you are pressurizing the water, maybe there can be variation in the specific heat, but now we will assume, and we have already assumed in our calculations for effectiveness and tube methods, that our specific heats will be constant. So let us see what will be the specific heat for this. This is also water. So this will be 4.2 kilojoule per kg I am taking. Kg Kelvin. Very good. Now what is your TH1, my dear students? So the water is entering at 340 degrees Celsius and that is living at TH2 which is your 180 degree Celsius, my dear students. Okay. Now the temperature of water at inlet is given to be how much? inlet, and it is living at 140 degrees Celsius. Now he is confusing, like the temperature of water. You can decide by looking at the temperatures that which is the hot fluid, which is the cold fluid, my dear students. So let us see. As this is having the maximum temperature, that is 340 degrees Celsius, and this is having 82 only 140 degrees Celsius. So you can easily analyze that cold fluid is your again water. So cold fluid is your unpressurized water, or I can only take it water. And what is the specific heat for that? You know, the specific heat for this cold fluid CC will be 4.2 kilojoule again, kilojoule per kg Kelvin, my dear students. And what is your TC1? So TC1 is 80 degrees Celsius, and water is living at TC2, which is your 140 degree Celsius. Now we have to calculate the area, but first of all we should know the mass flow rate for this. Why? Because if we want to use the NTU method or something, then we must know MTU method, then we must know what? Your C, that is specific heat capacity ratios. Okay. Now, so first of all, if I want to calculate the area, I must know NTU. But my dear students, the trick is that NTU is not given. NTU is not given. So how can I proceed for that? Let us see. Correction factor is given, and when correction factor is given, you can use the overall heat transfer rate, and you can easily calculate the area from there. Let us see how. So we know that. Let us see the first question, which is your calculation for area. Calculation for area of heat exchanger. Area of heat exchanger, my dear students. So how you can do that? So let us see. The total heat transfer will be given by dQ is equal to how much? This will be given by UA delta Tm. We know that. But as correction factor is given, so delta Tm will be different in this case. And first of all, we have to calculate the delta Tm. That is your log mean temperature difference. What is your delta Tm, my dear students? That is LMTD, log mean temperature difference technique we were using. So TH1 is given, TH2 is given. Can I calculate that delta T1? Yes. So TH1 is given to be how much? 340 degrees Celsius. And what is your TC2, my dear students? TC2 is given to be how much? This is your TC2. TC2 is 140 degrees Celsius. Very good. Now what is TH2? TH2 is given to be like, TH2 is given to be 180 degrees Celsius. And what is your TC1, my dear student? TC1 is given to be 80 degree Celsius. TC1 is given to be 80 degrees Celsius. So can I calculate the delta T2 and delta T1? Yes, sir. We can easily calculate. If we will have a difference here, we can easily calculate 340 minus 140, 40, 40. 300 minus 100. That will be your 200, my dear students, degree Celsius. What will be delta T2? TH2 minus TC1. So this is 180 degrees Celsius minus 180 degrees Celsius. Oh my God, this is coming to be like 100 degrees Celsius also. So delta T1 is equal to delta T2, and this is the case for counter flow heat exchanger. So now what should we use? So my dear students, we know when we are having this kind of case, when delta T1 is equal to delta T2, my dear students, for this kind of case, what we will do then? For this kind of case, so this is not equal, I think this is 200. And if you are having this kind of case, then you can go for what? L'Hospital rule. L'Hospital rule, and you can directly take what? Delta Tm is equal to nothing but delta T1 is equal to delta T2. Okay, but we are having 200, we are not having 100. Okay, this was to tell you if you will get this case. Okay, because I am not touching this area. Now let us see. Now my dear students, now I know delta T1, I know delta T2. Can I calculate the delta, that is log mean temperature difference? Yes. Can I calculate delta Tm? That is your nothing but LMTD, my dear students. Yes, sir. We can calculate. What is the formula for that? That is counter flow. The formula will be same for counter flow and that is parallel flow, my dear students. That will be delta T2 minus delta T1, sir. Very good. Divided by ln delta T2 divided by delta T1. So we know delta T2, this is 200 minus 100 divided by ln of 200 divided by 100. That will be ln of 2. So this will be nothing but 100 divided by ln of 2, and we can easily calculate it. Let us see what will be this. we can easily calculate this. This will be your 100 divided by ln of 2. So this will be 144 point. So your delta T2 will be 144.269. 144.269 degree Celsius. So my dear students, we know the delta Tm, but correction factor is given because it is shell and tube type heat exchanger. So we must use our formula, like we have to multiply with the correction factor, in this case with delta Tm. So the modified log mean temperature difference will be given by delta Tm modified. Directly you can multiply here also and here also in this equation, my dear students. You can directly multiply here also. So delta Tm modified will be equal to nothing but F into delta Tm. So this will become equal to 0.9 multiplied by 144.269. So this will become equal to how much? Let us see. If I will multiply that value with 0.9, I will have 129.8, my dear students. 129.8 degree Celsius. So now I have the modified 129.8. I have the modified value of delta Tm. So can I calculate the heat transfer? Yes sir, we can easily calculate the heat transfer. Let us see, my dear students. If we want to calculate the heat transfer, how we can go for the heat transfer calculation? So we know something, everything we know now. Can we calculate the heat transfer for the hot fluid? But your mass flow rate is not given. But your mass flow rate is given for the cold fluid, and also you know the temperatures and the specific heat. So can we calculate the heat transfer in this case? Yes, we can calculate the heat transfer. So the heat transfer in this case, Q will be given by m dot C, Cc multiplied by Tc2 minus Tc1, my dear students. Yes, sir, we can easily calculate this part. Let us calculate it, because delta Tm modified we have already calculated with correction factor. We want to calculate the area. U we know. So delta T, this dq will be given by, that implies multiply by m dot C, which is your 12 kg per second, multiplied by what? C, that is 4.2. That will be in kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Units are important, I am telling you again and again, because you will do the mistake, I know. Because Tc2 minus Tc1. What is Tc2? 140 minus 80 degrees Celsius, my dear students. So this will become U. What is the value of U? 30 degree, that is 30 watt per meter square Kelvin, multiplied by what is the value of area? We have to calculate it. What is the value of delta Tm? That is 129.8 degrees Celsius, my dear students. So can I have this value? Let us see. So kg will go, or directly we can say kilojoule. Okay, kg will go. Very good. Here it is what? Okay, this is degree Celsius, no problem. This is degree Celsius, no problem. Or Kelvin, degree Celsius, difference will be same, no problem. Degree Celsius, Kelvin, same, difference will be same, no problem. Kilojoule, my dear students, what? Kilojoule, watt. So you have to take it you have to take it in watt only. That will be joule per second, my dear students. So this will, you have to multiply 10 to the power 3. That is the procedure, else you will do the mistake, I know. So this will become 12 multiplied by 4200, my dear students, multiplied by 140 minus 80 will be how much? This will be your 60 degree, my dear students. So let us see. 30 multiplied by watt, that will be in watt now. Joule per second means watt. Okay, and watt is also there, so this will be cancelled out. You will be left with only meter square. So let us say area multiplied by 129.8. So let us calculate the area, my dear students. So the area will come equal to, how much? Let us see. 12 multiplied by 4200 into 60 into 60, my dear students. So this will be equal to, that heat transfer will be equal to how much? 3024,000 watt, my dear students. This will be in watt. Okay, now 30 into area into 129.8. Can we have the area now? Yes sir, we can have the area. Let us calculate the area, my dear students. So this will be 30 into 129.8. So this will be 776.57 meter square. Calculations are easy. Calculations are easy, my dear students. So now we know the area, that is 776.57 meter square. But we have to calculate the heat capacity, and for heat capacity, that is your 2 mark question I have done. 2 mark question, okay. Delta T you have calculated. Only GATE he will ask the simple questions. He will ask like 2 marks for this. He can ask like 2 marks for this. He can ask for 2 marks for this. Again, the third question is your correction factor he have given, and he is asking about the effectiveness. Let us calculate the effectiveness. Let us calculate the effectiveness, my dear students. So let us calculate the effectiveness. So what is your effectiveness, my dear students? Let us see. What is your effectiveness? That is your second case. Will be he is asking about the effectiveness for counter flow heat exchanger. Counter flow heat exchanger, my dear students. Very good. So can we calculate the effectiveness of counter flow? Yes, sir. We can calculate for anything, because we know that is nothing but Q actual divided by Q maximum. But how can we know where will be the maximum heat transfer? If we will know the heat capacity of both the fluids, we can decide that which one is minimum. Let us calculate that. So what will be CH, my dear students? I am doing here only. So the heat capacity for the hot fluid will be given by capital CH is equal to m dot h multiplied by CH. Oh my god, but that is not given. What is not given? That will be your CC will be equal to m dot C dot CC. So we can calculate for this cold fluid, but we cannot calculate now for the hot fluid. So what we have to do? We have to calculate the mass flow rate of the hot fluid. Let us calculate the mass flow rate of the hot fluid if we want to calculate this. So again I can write like this, equal to, that will be like, let us see first which fluid is undergoing the maximum temperature change. So the heat transfer Q is given by 302400000 is equal to m dot h. What will be m dot h? We have to calculate. What is C dot h? That is 4200, my dear students, multiplied by temperature change for the hot fluid, that is 340 minus 180 degrees Celsius, my dear students. So can we calculate the m dot h? Yes, we can calculate m dot h, or directly we can have the value. Let us only take this part, m dot h ch. So we have this value? Yes, we can have this value. So this will be given by 3024000 divided by 340 minus 180. So this will be nothing but your, oh my god, that is coming to be more, that is 18900. And what is this? This will be in joule per that is heat capacity unit, joule per second Kelvin or second degree Celsius. Okay. Now we know the CH. Can we calculate the m dot C CC? Yes, we can calculate. We know everything. So CC will be given by m dot C 12 second degree Celsius. Now which one is minimum, my dear students? The heat capacity for the hot fluid is given to be 18900 joule per second degree Celsius. So this I think is minimum. Yes, that is 50,400. That is 18,900. So the heat capacity for the hot fluid is minimum. So we know the heat capacity for the hot fluid is minimum. Can we calculate now the heat? Can we calculate now the effectiveness? Yes, the effectiveness is given by Q actual. So can I take the Q actual for hot fluid? Yes, we can take. And what will be the Q actual for maximum? So Q actual for maximum will be C minimum multiplied by TC1 minus TH1 minus TC1. Why, sir? Because here also hot fluid is undergoing maximum temperature change, my dear students. Let us see. The hot fluid is undergoing maximum temperature change, that is from TH1 to TC1. And what will be the maximum temperature change, my dear students? This will be delta T max will be equal to delta, that is TH1 minus TC1. And what is your TH1? 340 degrees Celsius minus this is your 80 degrees Celsius. So this will be 260 degrees Celsius. So now we know the maximum temperature change, that is from this part to this part, my dear students. Okay. Now let us see. So what is the specific that will be given by C minimum multiplied by hot fluid, that is TH2 minus TH1. Yes, that is 340 degrees Celsius minus 180 degrees Celsius. 180 degrees Celsius, my dear students, divided by again C minimum multiplied by TH1 minus TH2. So TH1 is nothing but 340 minus 180. So can we calculate? That is 80 only. 80 only. So this will become 340 minus 180. This will be 160, my dear students. 340 minus 180 will be 160 divided by 340 minus 80. 340 minus 80 will be your 260, my dear students. That will be 0.615, my dear students, and that is unitless. Okay. So we have also calculated the effectiveness in this case, and we have seen the three concepts: low mean temperature difference. We have seen how to calculate the minimum heat capacity directly so that we can save the time. And at last we have calculated the maximum temperature difference, that if hot fluid will undergo maximum temperature change because it is having C minimum, my dear students, C minimum, then we can calculate the maximum temperature and we can easily get the effectiveness. Okay, so hope you have understood this. And these kind of questions, like I'm solving multiple questions so that you can save time and can revise all the maximum concepts, my dear students. So thank you so much.